Wouldn't it be great to start every day? Every room you walk into, you get that. That would be awesome.
I was talking with Jen Duff when I got here this morning. She's like, who needs an alarm clock when you got a brass band to wake up to?
Right.
And coffee.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. Thanks for being our episode sponsor. And tell us what's going on. Who is Balcer Insurance Group? What are you guys doing?
Well, what I am is a primary health benefits consultant, which is fancy terminology for an insurance agent. So what I specialize in, thanks, Sally.
John, don't be mean to you. That's my job.
Thank you.
Okay.
What I primarily do is help people that are Medicare beneficiaries, 65 and older is the most of them, pick health care plans. Last year I also started doing the Affordable Care Act, which people affectionately refer to as Obamacare. So I help people find what's going to work for them. Normally the word consultant requires a fee, but there is none. I work for the insurance companies, and when you pick a plan, the plan reimburses me. So my advice is free. I've got several of you that I do business with. Several of you have asked questions of me, and other than a handshake and a pat on the back, that's it.
That's awesome. Well, I know America's changing in a lot of ways. How are you and your profession helping in this regard?
Well, there's more and more independent agents that are getting involved in this because the need is there. There's been surveys that are out there that are people that are over 65. Their biggest concern is how much of their fixed income, when they start taking Social Security or start drawing from their 401ks or their IRAs, how much of it is going to be needed for healthcare costs. And it's estimated that a person after the age of 65 is going to need over $300,000 to pay for their healthcare. So I try to find ways for them to cut those costs as low as I possibly can.
I'm sorry, did you say $300,000?
Yes, and that's normally in fixed costs, like co-payments or premiums or things like that. So when you visit with somebody who knows a lot of the different plans, and in Maricopa County, I'm licensed and carry virtually all the major health carriers for Maricopa County in the state of Arizona. Wow,
that's amazing. We understand that you have a kind of an interesting connection to events on 9/11.
I do. That was my previous career had me working for Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, and actually on September 11th, I happened to be on the 61st floor of Tower 2. Wow. Yes. Wow. Big deal.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
You and a lot of people I know.
What is your one takeaway from that? It had to be a very, we're going to hear from another gentleman that was there also, but what was your takeaway? What was that like? Oh, gee,
it's hard to describe. Here 14 years later, I still don't really have the true words to express how happy.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, thank you for what you're doing now and helping people navigate as we get a little older. And, and by the way, if a guy like me were to come to you and say, hey, any chance I could borrow $300,000?
I work with some financial advisors that could probably help you with that. So, yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
Or I can help you trim those costs for sure.
Yeah, that's great. Well, maybe I should start by trimming me. But that's a whole nother story. Well, thank you, John, for coming by. Thanks for being our episode sponsor. And
certainly.
If these folks have any questions, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Actually, through email, johnbalcer@cox.net, cell phone, 480-206-5435.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. And you're going to hang around later?
Oh, I'll be here.
John will be at the back room. If you've got any questions on your way out, don't hesitate. Stop and talk to him. And thanks again.
Absolutely.
Have a great day, buddy. Thank you.